tree, they purposely picked this one to expose his body to the sun. Yeah, there's just no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. It was
Perfectly, like...
perfectly picked.
Yeah.
You know, like they picked it to, this is a perfect
They
spot.
knew this exact spot.
Well, look, see how it's open here? Every other tree, and if you look at every other tree, there's no opening like this one. This would be a perfect place to plant a body and just let it hang here and be exposed to the elements.
And also,
So,
like where he was hanging down, technically you kind of can't really see it from this angle if you're just looking straight down. Maybe it's the jacket a little bit, but not.
I just want to know where that one shoe, where did it go?
Yeah, you don't just fall on your foot. It's like wedged in a tree. That makes no sense.
Of all trees, why choose this one to climb when other ones have more branches? Jason's family just thinks this tree doesn't seem very climbable, especially when he was being chased in the dark of the night.
That's open right there. I'm gonna put him in that tree.
How is it that a black man was found hanging from a tree in Marietta, Georgia, and really no news outlet is talking about it? The first thing that police say is that there was no foul play, as if that isn't the first thing they always say.
So Jason drove down this road from that direction. People were chasing him, and he ended up turning here left on Star Tannery in Star Tannery.
I just want to point something out, you guys. Just like the black man that they was chasing, and he ran into the dollar store, Family Dollar, and then, you know, they found him chopped up, as well as the other young man who was running and ran to the police station, and they told him he wasn't a taxi cab service. Same shit, running away, trying to get away from their fucking pursuers. But they commit suicide though.
Virginia down this gravel road, and eventually met his fate down this road in Star Tannery, Virginia, and we still do not have any answers. I believe that the police did not do a proper search, and we don't know the truth of how he really died. Did he die? Did someone kill him? Or did he climb a tree and freeze to death? That's why we keep trying to bring this story out in the public, because there's questions that are not answered.
My name is Nadine Galmore, and my son is James Cooper. My son moved to Metcalfe, Mississippi in May of 2023, and in less than 2 weeks, he was found hanging from a light pole. The police ruled it a suicide without a thorough investigation. Even the coroner on the scene said she didn't want to rule it a suicide. It was just too many signs of foul play.
Corey Zucadis was the second guy that was hanging from a tree in Mississippi, y'all. Then social media tried to spin a narrative of what really happened. Social media made it seem like it was two black people. So the ones who did make those videos, I need y'all to go back and redo those and apologize, because that's misinformation, man. This happened in Vicksburg, Mississippi. This was a 35-year-old white man hanging from a tree in the woods right near the Mir Star Casino. Now they saying that his body was found by 1:30 p.m. Yes, I'm keeping the same energy, just like if this was gonna be a black person being hung, y'all, because it's fucked up. But cause he white and he homeless? Niggas can do this cause he homeless and his story don't get talked about? Then so quick to say no foul play. So a motherfucker just doing this by themselves. Nah. Now y'all know I'm gonna speak what's on the chest, and I don't care if you don't like it, and I don't care if you don't like me, but you gonna feel me. Not only that though, y'all, this happened on the same day Trey Reed got hung as well. Both of these happened in Mississippi on the same day. He's not connected. Mississippi, this what y'all back on now? The fuck? Corey's.
That's why I'm afraid of these fucking police out here, ladies and gentlemen. They're hanging people, covering it up, man, and getting away with this shit. They're doing this shit to us as targeted individuals, so what the fuck makes you think they're not doing it to these people, man, killing them and getting away with it because they can now? It's an all-out war on the people, man. It don't matter what color you are, man. But just to fucking see that they're doing this, and I know a lot of them are racist, you know, like that just puts it, you know, it adds butter to the bread.
Hey, if you're from Michigan or Detroit or whatever, I was on my way to work, so I was kind of rushing. But I did see police everywhere, man. And it was a dude hanging from a tree at Walmart. Like, dead ass. Like, I wasn't able to see the guy, so I can't tell you what color he was. But I can almost guarantee that I can pinpoint down to the color he was, man. I can almost guarantee I know what color he was. We all know what color he was. But, like, I don't know if y'all have been watching or been on the internet, but this shit is becoming a pattern that's happening more frequently, man. And we need to wake the fuck up and wake the fuck up now, like yesterday, man. It's like they trying to provoke us to push us to a race war. Like, all of that peaceful shit, that shit been gone way back when, man. That shit is out the window. All that peaceful protest and let's come together and everything ain't gotta be about violence. It has to be about violence, man. It's an eye for an eye type of thing now, man. These motherfuckers are killing our kids. They trying to cause harm to us when we are vulnerable and by ourselves and outnumbered. This shit is getting out of hand. And then what's worse about everything is the fucked up thing about the shit is that the news not even covering this shit, man. So y'all not, like, most people not even gonna.
And he's right, man. The news ain't covering this shit. I'm just now hearing about this Detroit situation. Nobody out here is talking about it. Nobody. The news ain't, and you know, I guarantee you a lot of people out here are helping them cover it up. Probably even doing it for them. Man.
Know about it unless you on TikTok, unless you on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. But the news is not even covering this shit, man. And that alone to tell you the color of the fucking person. Because if it was any other fucking race, it would have been all over the news. It probably would have been a fucking some type of alert that come to your phone letting you know what the fuck is going on. But when it's one of us, it don't matter. But we need to wake the fuck up, man. Like, seriously, man. I made a video about this before. Like, man, fuck that. We can't wait for no YNs to wake up. Them motherfuckers ain't gonna never wake up, unfortunately. We have to stand the fuck up, man, and put foots on necks, put belt to ass. Like, this shit is getting out of hand, bro. This shit is getting out of hand. And it's like they getting comfortable. We knew that they were gonna get comfortable with this shit once the president that's in office get fucking elected. We knew that shit. So for anybody to be surprised by this shit, it baffles me, man. But let me know in the comments if anybody else saw this shit or heard about this shit, man.
The family of a 39-year-old man in Wisconsin is demanding answers after he was found hanging from a tree at a suburban golf course. His family said, "We just not convinced that he killed himself, and we want a more transparent investigation. We want to."
The FBI has been asked to investigate the mysterious death of Dennis Richard.
That and move on? No, not this time. Not Earl Smith. He was 58, a father, a grandfather, a man who had just been baptized. And on the morning of June 11th,
If you are broke and
25, and we're just supposed to.
if you are broke
25, and we're just supposed to swallow that and move on? No, not this time. Not Earl Smith. He was 58, a father, a grandfather, a man who had just been baptized. And on the morning of June 11th of 2025, his body was found hanging from a tree in Albany, New York. And before his family could even process what happened, before a single piece of footage was even reviewed, the police said there's no foul play. It looks like that line, that's the rope now. Sterile, passive, clean. But the message is
That is the line. Either you're mental health or you're suicidal.
the same. Don't ask, don't push. Just move along. But let me tell you why we can't move along. Because we've seen this story before. Public lynchings used to be community events in this country. People brought their children, smiled for photos, took pieces of the victim's body home like souvenirs. They mailed out postcards of our dead bodies. And those ropes, they didn't just kill, they warned, stay in your place. And when it wasn't public spectacle, it was a cover-up. You ever heard of Claude Neal in 1934? They tortured him for hours and dumped his body near the courthouse lawn. The sheriff, he said, oh, he must have made someone angry. You ever heard of Emmett Till? Of course you have. But how many names never made it into the textbooks because the authorities called them accidents or blamed it on the victim's own hands? And now, in 2025, after all the blood and the so-called progress, we're still here. A man was found hanging from a tree in broad daylight, and we're just told to accept it. So let's talk facts. His family doesn't believe that it was... They said that he was full of joy, full of plans, full of life. There are 3 cameras in that area, but the footage, nowhere, not public, not reviewed. And the press has already moved on. Where else have you heard about this? Because a dead black man isn't news, it's routine. Earl Smith should still be here. And if he couldn't be saved, then the very least this country could do is fight for the truth. But instead they zipped the bag, shut the file, and turned off the mic. This isn't justice. It's the modern day lynching blueprint.
Hey, how y'all doing? A man was publicly lynched in Washington, D.C., hanging from a tree, right outside of a police station. Do you know how hard it is and how long it would take to hang a full-grown man from a tree and how much effort that takes? He was left there while the police were still investigating. He was just left there. It was like a couple days ago. Dude, okay, here's my thing. A lot of people, I'm not gonna say who, but a lot of people truly do believe that racism and, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff from the 1800s has fully gone away. No. Lynched? Hanging from a tree? Washington, D.C.? Outside of a police station? Dude, the shit that they did in the 1800s, the killing methods, they're still around. They're still around. Publicly, there's no cameras. They just left him there for everybody to see. How long did it take? Nobody saw it while they were doing it? Dude, you know what? Let me know if you have comments.
No. I was just asking you, what was the name of the man? He was found hanging in a tree in front of the police station in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Let me check that. One sec. If you're referring to the case in Washington, D.C. in April 2026, the name reported is Isaac Carlos Aguirre, 19 years old. D.C. police said they are investigating it as a suicide. His family and community members have called for more transparency, but police stated they don't currently suspect foul play.
Yeah, they never do, right?
Yeah, many people feel that way.
Another black man hanging in a tree. It wasn't Tory Medley, Earl Smith, Mario Kaiser, or Trey Reed. It was down in Georgia. His name was Kyle Basinga. They say they all killed themselves because people that look like me still believe it. And just like last year, in September, they said he committed suicide 4 days after the autopsy. Why is homicide not worth their time? We used to post our picnics in the papers. Now we hide behind blue lines. We killed Malcolm X, Fred Hampton. We kept the KKK alive. They were them. They were them. They were them. They were polices and the judges, politicians and the feds. They took off from work. They brought their kids. The whole town went. It took a while for us to learn that we should just stay hidden behind the masks. Isn't it hard to fight a system when your judges are complicit, when the concept of policing comes from their own slave patrol divisions? If you're wondering why school shooters, serial killers, politicians look like me, you'd have to address that we're the ones who define the word free.
Ladies and gentlemen, this shit is so fucking real, man.
Media isn't covering this for some weird reason. I'm going to cover it and spread the word. So there was a black man. Since the media isn't covering this for some weird reason, I'm going to cover it and spread the word. So there was a black man found hanging from a tree in New York. Everybody is super skeptical of the police because they were really quick to kind of brush this under the rug, say, oh, this wasn't a lynching. We did an investigation and like, we think that this was self-unaliving, which the family members don't believe. They're not buying that. They're extremely skeptical of the whole situation and especially how the police are handling it because they're trying to keep it on the hush-hush. Did you hear about this? No, I didn't either. It has not been in the media. No one's talking about it. Like, I don't even think like most people know that this even happened. And what's really sad about this whole thing is they said there were tons of videos posted online. So people were standing around taking videos of him hanging from the tree and just posted it online for everybody to see. They're not even releasing the name of this man. Does this not seem to you guys that they're literally trying to brush this under the rug so nobody talks about it? Like, they're not even giving his name. I can only give my opinion on this whole situation. And my opinion is, if you really have nothing to hide and there was no foul play in this situation, why aren't y'all telling us what this dude's name is? Why has nobody heard about this? Why is the media not covering it? Why were y'all so quick to dismiss it as a self-unaliving?
Hey, not a lot of white people know this, so let me tell you. Black people don't hang themselves from trees. Black people don't hang themselves from trees. Black people don't hang themselves from trees. Black people will never hang themselves from trees.
Past week alone, 3 black women were found dead. They were murdered. The first one I'm going to mention is Kayla Huff. She was 16 years old and she was found dead in the woods in Missouri. The suspects is around her age, they're white, and one of the suspects happens to be her ex-boyfriend that she recently broke up with. I have completely lost count how many black women has lost their lives due to ending a relationship, especially when it comes to a white man. The same thing happened to Ashley Janae when she was traveling in Africa. Except they didn't break up, they got into an argument, the white man blew up, and he decided to lynch her in her bedroom. Rest in peace to Kayla Huff and Ashley Janae. Second is another 16-year-old black girl named Juliana Nazita that was found lynched in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was declared missing on April 28th and found dead on May 18th. Crazy part about this was she was found lynched on church property. History has constantly shown that black people are always being lynched on church property. Once again, white people using Christianity as their tool and weapon to silence black people and their lives. Last but not least, Marcavius Rump, an 18-year-old boy who recently graduated high school, was found murdered, burned, and dismembered in Alabama. Out of these 3 murders, 2 of them try to be ruled out as a suicide. Once again, you cannot trust the police because the police are backing it up. No matter how many good apples are out there, police officers has committed more harm and evil towards the black community than anything else. It's been extremely rough these last few months for the black community. Hell, ever since that orange turd came into office, it's been going downhill. Black lives are under attack. Black votes, black rights, and black freedom is under attack. And to all the people of color who was watching this, if black people lose our rights and our freedom, so do you too.
So the second autopsy has been completed for Trey Reed, and if you don't remember, Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Mississippi shortly after CK was. Authorities were very quick to rule that Trey Reed took his own life, and it was very suspicious. So actually, Colin Kaepernick funded a second independent autopsy, and those results are now in. Here are a few things that the first autopsy conveniently left out. It appears as though Reed suffered blunt force trauma on the back of his head, and that was not in the first report. Also, the belt that...
Same thing with Nolan Wills, ladies and gentlemen,
was found and used on Reed was 3 sizes too big for him, so it would not have been his belt. And the injuries around his neck were reported to not be consistent with a self-unaliving of that form. It was also not reported that he was found on a part of campus that was conveniently known for not having cameras. It was also neglected to be told to everybody that he had gotten in an altercation a few days prior with a group of white students over the death of CK. So putting that all together, does it still really look like he took his own life?
What's your name?
Roby.
Okay, and how old are you?
8.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
Criminal defense attorney.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so behind you, we found out that this is a lynching tree, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, do you know what happened here?
Yes.
What happened?
Lynchings, beatings, shootouts.
Not shootouts, shootings.
Shootings, yeah.
Okay. So can you start from the beginning?
Of what?
What happened on this tree?
Okay. So once upon a time, there was these 4 black teenagers, and they was just walking peacefully, and a white officer accused them of stealing from a store. And then the police, they didn't have no evidence or anything or no witnesses, so they just took them to jail. And then when they was in the cell, KKK came and the police officer let them in, and then the KKK took all the 4 boys out in handcuffs. They walked all the way to a tree, and then the KKK hung them, and while they was getting hanged, the KKK was shooting them.
How does that make you feel, finding out that information?
Makes me feel sad.
Okay. Do you think they deserve that?
Nope.
Okay, so we're just gonna pray for them and their souls, and we're gonna continue to spread this kind of information so that other people can know not to repeat that kind of history, right? Okay, and just for the record, those 4 young men who were lynched were African American young men who were lynched. Well, thank you so much, Nadi, for this history lesson.
Kyle Basinga did not hang himself. And for the life of me, I can't see why they keep saying these things are self-inflicted. Why do they keep saying these things are suicides? If you're not from the South, let me tell you about the South. The South is still very much racist. Very racist. And we live in a slave system. It might not be slavery, but it's a slave system. A lot of our police officers, KKK members, a lot of our judges, doctors, lawyers are racist. They are undercover KKK members. Even at work, the South is still very much segregated. Like the whites hang with the whites, the blacks hang with the blacks. I mean, we rarely even communicate at work with each other. And if you do, other people still look at you funny, like, what they doing? Like, it's abnormal to them. It's not normal to see white people talking to black people that much.
We have to get the word out, like, around TikTok and everywhere. They hung this young man off onto a tree by a rope, bro, in Henderson, North Carolina. His name is Javion McGee, or I think it's McGee, Javion McGee. This man is young man. We're around the same age. I think he's like 22, 23. I'm not sure. We need y'all to get the word out. This young man stays in Chicago, y'all. He was in Henderson, North Carolina to drop a load off, driving trucks, y'all. He driving trucks, bro. They hung this young man in Henderson, North Carolina, bro. Like, and it's crazy as fuck to me. Like, it's throwing me out because I literally just made a video about some shit that happened with me in Pennsylvania, and it's like 72 hours later, this is what I see, y'all hanging people. This shit is not fair at all on no standpoint. Like, this young man trying to better his life, and you can't even go out and work a decent fucking job and make it home. This shit is, I'm done with Over the Road. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with America. Fuck it. I'm done.
Over the weekend of Juneteenth this year, less than a month ago, Tania Nicole Miller was found hanging from a tree in Miami. Juliana Nazita, only 16 years old, was found hanging on church grounds in North Carolina in May, and police ruled it a suicide. Kyle Basinga, only 21 years old, was found hanging in Georgia in February. Police also ruled that a suicide. Trey Reed was found hanging on the Delta State University campus in September 2025. His murder was also ruled a suicide. Just 1 year before Trey Reed, another lynching that made headlines was that of Javion McGee in North Carolina. He was also found hanging from a tree, and it was also ruled a suicide. And the Nolan Wells case reminded me immediately of Tamla Horsford, who was found dead in 2018 after a sleepover with her white friends. It was ruled an accident, but she had blunt force trauma. These are just the cases that we know about. Over the weekend of Juneteenth.
Alright, you guys, I don't promote that don't trust white people shit, but because as you can see, I'm in Detroit. I can't trust black people either out here. Yeah, man, So I got all the reason in the fucking world to be afraid of these fucking police. All this shit is Chicago, Michigan, Mississippi. That's the whole pipeline towards this motherfucker. And including this motherfucker. You feel me? And ain't nobody out here speaking up about none of it. Not even none of the shit that happened out here. You feel me? So yeah, I'm very afraid of the police, and I'm very afraid of their fucking informants, especially the sellout ones. Especially because I know they'll go above and beyond.
They were back down in the woods, back down off in the field. And we never could find out exactly what happened. We don't believe our son would just go out and hang himself. He was a good person to get along with. He didn't hurt nobody. To sum it up, you know, if he committed suicide, I know people do it. Well, that's fine. But if he didn't do it, then we'd like to know about it.
It just needs to be said very clear that 4 black men hanging from trees in 1 week is not a coincidence. It's not an accident. It is not an incident. The fact that all 4 cases have said no foul play and then just close the cases, like at this point, all marginalized communities need to round to the wagons. Like, do not go out alone. Do not go running alone. Do not go shopping alone. Like, some people are like, stop. It just needs to be said very clear that 4 black men hanging from trees in 1 week is not a coincidence.
I thought you was about to
That's what I'm saying.
Alright, you guys, pay attention what happens to this young man after his encounter with the police. Please pay attention. And this isn't the only young man who had it. The other black young man that was found hanging in a tree, he also had an encounter with the police as well.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm paranoid as hell.
It's okay, man, because we got cameras all around here. So you can
I don't
see
know what he done. I just saw you look like you were about to
do anything.
I didn't do anything.
Right.
So hold on. You don't have no reason to get my ID, right? I'm not doing anything.
Actually, you are a student here, which is what I asked.
With a Georgia State hoodie on?
Right.
So you just go around asking random kids, are you a Georgia State student? Even the kid with a Georgia State hoodie on? Does that make sense to you, bro? Alright, bro.
Again, I hope you get the help you need, man.
Alright, what's up? I'm calm. I just gotta videotape this bullshit, bro. Like, this is really a police harassment. How you gonna ask me if I'm a Georgia State student with a Georgia State hoodie on, bro? Georgia State hoodie on, gang. Come on, bro. Use your brain.
I thought you was about to
That's what I'm saying. I'm paranoid as hell.
It's okay, man, because we got cameras all around here. So you can
I don't know what he done. I just saw.
Why should a motherfucker be afraid of the police or their fucking sellout informants, man?
They're still finding black men hung in trees. Still.
But nothing's being investigated.
Nope.
Because I've seen so far 3 prevalent, 3 that I know of, 4 that I know of in the past 3 months.
That's crazy.
And the most recent one was in Atlanta? Was it Georgia?
Atlanta. Georgia. In Georgia. Yep.
And it's like, we have a problem.
Yep.
Needs to be addressed.
I'm pissed, and if you don't like no cussing, scroll the fuck up. So ain't nobody talking about this. There was a black man found lynched, hanging from a tree behind a police station in Washington on 9th and Quakenbar Street, Washington. Do y'all know about this? Y'all know where this station is?
You got on the black hoodie and the black shoes.
Why the fuck they keep him hanging, y'all, for the investigation? They kept him hanging. Hear me out. My thing is, it's a police station. Don't they have a lot of cameras around that motherfucker? Not only that, you know how much time it probably takes to lynch a grown man body? Dead weight? I can tell you it ain't one person. There's probably multiple people involved in this. And nobody seen this? Nobody heard this? Nobody came out? Nobody drove out? So motherfuckers just really have the time to really tie somebody up, pick a branch, and lynch them at a police station in the back. And it's the question, y'all. Who would have those type of big ass hawk balls to go to a police station and just lynch somebody? Who would want to go to a police station and go hang themselves and watch they try to rule it as a no foul play? If he really did take his own self out, he could have did that shit at the park. It have to be somebody involved in that station, allegedly. They're comfortable enough to do it at the station. Nobody will not, bro. It's just crazy. That shit don't even sit right with me. Do it even sound right? Who would go to the police station and go do a crime? Knowing that they can come out. And then you got the president have a black man bashing a female in the head, right? Let's see if you post this. This is in Washington. The fuck? Like, let's see if the news blow this up. Why are black men being lynched at a station? And all my black people, man, y'all, we gotta be safe out here. This is like my 4th video within a year that I done did of somebody being hung. I ain't trying to make this a racist thing, but if you ain't black, hear me out. This is why sometimes I don't be giving a fuck about this and that getting killed, what color this, because y'all never show no attention. Y'all never blow it up. Y'all never posting on y'all story when a black person getting hung, black person getting shot without no gun, police kill a black person. Y'all never do none of that, but y'all want us to show sympathy when white people get killed. Y'all treat it like a CNN topic. You even have black people in a corner with some of the Browns when it comes to the ICE situation. And I fuck with the Mexicans. And I got some white people. You feel me? I fuck with the white people. You know what I'm saying? I know all white people ain't Karens. What I'm saying is, y'all never show the support though when we getting killed. Y'all never open y'all mouth. Y'all never be as loud as we'd be and we taking up for y'all. That's the problem, black people. We our hearts is too big for a lot of motherfuckers who ain't big for us. And like I said, I'm not trying to make this a racist thing, but I'm pissed the fuck off.
At this hour.
A man was found dead hanging from a tree this afternoon. Police say the discovery was made in the woods on Washington Street near one of the casinos in Vicksburg. Captain Curtis Judge identified the victim as Corey Zucatis of Brandon. Now, police say right now the case is being classified as a death investigation. No other information is being released at this point. A man was found.
And you know the crazy thing is the black police know what's going on. That's why, you know, the black police know exactly what's going on and they're keeping their mouths shut. They're saying nothing. And, you know, that says everything it needs to fucking say. Like, they're just being good old boys. Not saying nothing about none of these black men being hung.
You can't be serious. I usually don't do this, but I feel like I got to. Because if ain't nobody gonna talk about it, you better be damn sure I am. Another black man hung? I heard exactly what I said. Another black man just got hung. But once again, the police is saying self-deletion. What is this world coming to? I mean, less than 48 hours. That's not even enough time to do an investigation. They ruling a suicide again. Like they trying to normalize this happening. And once again, there's no media coverage. My name is Kim. I do motivational content on TikTok, but I gotta talk about this story. Meanwhile, Maurice Given, 30 years old. He left Kansas City to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Just wanted a fresh start. He got a new job, just wanted some new hope. He was found hanging in the woods just 48 hours later from leaving. And immediately they ruled it a self-deletion. And we gotta make this make sense. The family already came out and said there's no possible way. A man who wants a fresh start as soon as he leaves, he unalives himself? Come on, we gotta make this make sense. Telling me that's the story they want us to swallow and let it be? It showed up on my timeline, so you made me damn sure I'm gonna talk about it.